All right. Hi, we're Group 5, and we're here today to discuss our thoughts on the Walmart case. To start out, we would like to talk about what we think has been successful for the company.
So Sam Walton, and for Walmart, he had a strategy of a low-cost provider. And so what made them so unique in their strategy is that they created a position that was very much different than the competition because he knew exactly how they were doing things because he was very active. The next thing for this, though, is how they actually did their activities and how that set them apart from their competitors. One specific thing that allowed them to do this was their investment in IT. It was a huge amount of money, and it was something that competitors did not do. It allowed them to see everything from identifying all the different sales data, marketing data, managing, controlling inventory, and it even led them into one of their next components or one of the next activities, which is how they set up their distribution centers, where they would have their local stores, and then outside of that, they'd have a distribution center that supplied 80% of what they were doing within those store levels. And those were two examples of what made them successful, two of many.
Thanks, Aaron. Next, we're going to talk about how or why others haven't been successful in duplicating their strategy.
Yeah, Walmart's strategy of being an everyday low-cost provider has made that, and the way all the activities underneath that have aligned with that, make it very difficult for competitors to come into and directly compete with Walmart. Whether it comes to their, particularly with their culture, we find that from the top management all the way down to floor greeters, that they're very much in alignment with cost savings and saving OPEX, so that the cost of sales for all these different activities are lower than their competitors. You combine that with their innovations in technology and with logistics and distribution, and it becomes very, very difficult when you have all these activities lined up so well for competitors to effectively compete with Walmart. There's been some that have been able to do certain aspects of it well, but none have been able to duplicate the entire system that Walmart has put together that allows them to compete at a price level that is well below what their competitors are offering.
So though Walmart does a lot of things successfully, they do face several threats, and there are three main threats that we talked about. First is intense competition from competitors like Target that has price matching programs, and also online competitors like Amazon. They also face economic barriers such as fluctuations that affect product cost and product distribution. This includes fuel prices, currency fluctuations, tariffs, trade policies, trust issues, and real estate costs. Finally, they are facing slow market growth and self-cannibalization by the amount of Walmarts that they're opening up in close proximity to each other. Next, we'd like to talk about whether their advantage is sustainable.
So ultimately, Walmart's competitive advantage is very sustainable, and I believe they've proven it over the years that they've been in business. They have a very low-cost structure, and they do that with economies of scale, meaning they purchase a lot, they store a lot, and they sell a lot. So they can sell things very inexpensively compared to the competition, and that's hard to mimic. Additionally, they have efficient sourcing, and they have market-priced products with information systems. So by that I mean efficient sourcing. So they have certain distribution centers, and those serve a few different locations of Walmart. So that's an effective way to distribute product to your service centers. I also believe they have a barrier to entry. So despite the fact that they do face big threats with companies who are similar to them in size, smaller companies have a very low chance of disrupting them because they would have to get big already, and that's hard to do. So I believe they have very sustainable competitive advantages.
And so last but not least, so in today's present market, they really need to focus on the online aspect. Their biggest, one of their biggest competitors today is Amazon, and they need to really get into the online space and take up market share there.
Yeah, the other thing that we thought going forward is they need to continue to focus on their investment in IT, and also using the data that they gather from those IT infrastructures and sharing it with their suppliers and sub-suppliers. That helps to reduce the price, and it's also kind of game-changing in the way that they interact with their suppliers, and that does help economically in a positive way for Walmart.
Okay, that concludes our thoughts on the Walmart case. Thank you.